Star Trek Discovery, Episode 12, Vaulting Ambition. I'm Joe. Richie isn't with us tonight because Richie does not watch Star Trek Discovery. Where did we leave off at the end of Episode 11, The Wolf Inside? The big one, obviously, was the Emperor of the Mirror Universe ended up being Emperor Georgiou. Captain Georgiou was the beloved fallen captain of our protagonist, Michael Berman. That was interesting because, you know, she has a lot of mixed emotions about what she did to her captain and how she may have failed her captain. Captain Lorca, who is in tow as her captive, had like a slight wry smile when he saw who the Emperor was. Was that wry smile because of something he said in the first episode of the Mirror Universe arc on how it's amazing how the different universes, everybody ends up kind of together anyway? Or was it something more? There's the theory going on that he is the Mirror Universe Lorca. Ash Taylor has been revealed to be Vok. Where do we take that character? Because I said in the last video, I felt like that was an end of the season reveal. They revealed it pretty early, so it makes you wonder where they're still going with the Ash Taylor character. Is there going to be some sort of conflict within and still a romance with Michael Berman? And then the final reveal was Stamets. Stamets himself ended up in like a spore sort of realm. The ISS version, the Mirror Universe version of Stamets came up and said to him like, "Oh, I'm glad you finally showed up." I was thinking, is this like the Citadel of the Stamets or something like that? I want to know where that's going. So that was the that other big point that we left off from the last episode. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Vaulting Ambition is, of course, a line from Macbeth, and the only captain I'll ever love, as much as I like Captain Lorca, is Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Can't mention Shakespeare and Star Trek without mentioning Patrick Stewart, the great one. Anyway, this was a really good episode. Now, the first 2 episodes in the Mirror Universe stuff happened, moved slow. A lot of questions were set up, but still, they were slow-moving episodes. This was only 37 minutes. It was one of the shorter episodes, but one of the more packed with stuff to talk about. Basic setup is that Lorca and Berman are going to the Imperial flagship to meet with Emperor Georgiou, and fun happens from there. Let's get to the 2 subplots before we talk about the biggie, the big stuff that happened. With the Ash Taylor business, he was suffering. It looked like the Ash Taylor and the Vok were fighting each other, and Ash Taylor was actually ripping his skin off, and at one point he even said, well, how is Michael Berman doing? Is she safe? L'Oreal said that they basically did capture an Ash Taylor at the binary stars, harvested his DNA, rebuilt his consciousness and memories, and implanted them in Vok, who they broke down to a shell to be a case. So he is in there. So it was Vok, but they put the real Ash Taylor in there. Saru's hardcore. I like Saru. Saru is one of the better characters, and he really, knowing that he was in pain and that there was no way they could help, had to force her to help them, you know, fix him. And just after two attempts, when she said no, she just dumped, you know, Ash Taylor into her cage. He's hardcore Saru. He's a good character. I like that character. At the end, she had some little things, and she was going into his brain, and she did the Klingon death ritual. Okay, let's see where that goes. Is the Vok, did she have to actually kill Vok's memories? Citadel secrets are safe because it was not a Citadel of the Stamets. It was the Mirror Universe Stamets was already inside the microbial network, and cool little thing was that you found out that he was the one sending out the messages. So when Stamets said, "Oh, hi, Captain," you know, he thought that was, you know, he was having a message from the ISS Stamets, who already knew that Tilly was the captain. We said, "Hi, Captain," to Tilly. So that was cool. So that was where the flashes he were having was coming from the ISS Stamets, who, let's say it like this, which was interesting, seemed like he was possibly a naughty boy. I liked the scene with him and Dr. Culliver. I like those characters. They did say that we were going to see more of the Doctor, even though he was, he was killed. And, now we saw what they were talking about, and he even said, no one's ever truly gone. This was definitely one of the grimmer, as far as everything that happened, episodes. I mean, one of the guys that executed a guy, where he ejected him, and you saw a full-on blow up right in front of Lorca. There was also the part where Berman shows up in the Imperial, court, and the Emperor says, choose your Kelpian. And she chooses who, I had to go back and watch. I thought it was Saru, but it looked it was a Kelpian who looked like Saru, but we know Saru is already on the Shenzhou. And then later when they were having dinner, it was, that's when we got the little reveal that she was eating. That was nice stuff right there. I like that kind of stuff. They did have a mother-daughter relationship in the Federation universe. However, in the Mirror universe, Emperor Georgiou actually was her adopted mother, raised her, the best schools, gave her a captain, all that captainship, all that stuff. So they had a more mother-daughter relationship in that universe. In that Mirror universe, the Michael Berman and the Captain Lorca were conspiring together, which leads to the Emperor basically saying, we're going to execute you because you were already conspiring with him. She just blows the whole thing up. She says, no, I'm from the Mirror universe. Once she proves it using the rank insignia that she had from her captain, her Georgiou takes out like a little shuriken, throws it around the room, kills all but one of her counselors. And then it says to the last counselor, can you keep a secret? Okay, great, clean up this mess and I'll make you the governor of blah, blah, blah. So you found out that she already knew about the Mirror universe. She already knew about the Federation, which is when the big, big reveal comes. We do discover that Captain Lorca that we've been following is the Lorca from the Mirror universe. As I had mentioned earlier, there was the little hints of that. Now there's been hints of that throughout, as he's kind of has never acted like a traditional Starfleet captain. Even that little business when after he has whoopee time with the Admiral, and she says you're a different person. We find out that he actually was the one who got them there because he wanted to get to the Emperor, and he needed Michael Berman to do it, and he went through all that, and it was indeed the Mirror Universe Lorca. At least that's where we're at right now. That was a big reveal, and that sets up where we are in the fourth episode with them now, having to get out of there. Yeah, that was a big reveal, and that was cool. So I think all this was one of the better episodes, and a lot was revealed, and now the only answers are what happens next. It wasn't like they left anything really hanging unless there was some misdirection. Basically just how they're gonna get out of there. Stamets was really cool in this episode. I liked how, I liked his interaction, with the other guy, the other Stamets, who they both end up getting out of their little microbial network comas, and the other Stamets was on the flagship of the Empire. So we're gonna have Stamets versus Stamets in the real world. The stuff with Ash Taylor was the only thing I really liked from that is just hardcore Saru, and then finally all the stuff with the Emperor and Captain Lorca and who he really is. This was one of the better episodes, and it set up a lot of cool things. It's an interesting show. Now, it's definitely not, like I said earlier, it's not my Star Trek as far as Captain Picard. This is definitely a little more hardcore as far as people blowing up and shurikens going around and impaling everybody in the head and just all that kind of stuff. Eating Kelpians. But it's still entertaining television. I know I'm probably gonna get comments down here that say this show sucks. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm just happy to see Star Trek back on television. So far, the Mirror Universe thing, this was a good payoff, this third episode. Looking forward to the fourth. And I'm looking forward to having you come back for more of our videos. So please subscribe to the Joe and Richie channel. Subscribe down below. Give us a like. Please leave a comment. I'm open for discussion on this episode. Anything you might have liked or didn't like, please let me know. And until next time.